Hi guys, I hope you're good. It's been a while, we didn't do a lesson, but here I am again. So today is going to be a lesson about the Arabic script, the Arabic alphabet. Actually, I was speaking to a friend of mine on the phone and we were discussing my YouTube channel, and then we spoke about the alphabet, and I realized I never had given a lesson about the alphabet. So I thought, why not, let's start doing that. I want you to know something, guys. Most people think that, oh my god, reading or writing Arabic is very difficult, but in fact it's not as difficult as you think. It's a very logical language, and if you can focus with me, you can challenge yourself and we can finish the whole alphabet, the whole Arabic script together within the next 6 lessons or so. So yalla, challenge yourself. If you're with me now, if you've never written any Arabic, and if you happen to be free right now, just go ahead and quickly jump, get a piece of paper. I'm gonna wait for you. Go get a piece of paper and a pencil and an eraser if you need one, so we can begin. Okay, yalla, I'll wait for you. I'll give you 30 seconds by the time a few other people join as well. Just let me know as well if the voice is good. If you can hear me well, give me a sign, write me any message in the chat box, or maybe if you're one of my students, you can send me a message on WhatsApp and let me know that the voice is good. Yalla, I'll wait 30 seconds for you guys to go grab your papers and we begin. Yalla, let's begin, guys. Okay, so what is something you need to know about the Arabic alphabet before you start? We don't write from left to right, like in English or French or Armenian or Italian. We always start from right to left, okay? So this is going to be your direction when you're writing Arabic, and not this. So that's your first tip. Always begin writing from right to left. Now, tip number 2, try not to remove your hand, okay? Let's just try a little exercise together, a random exercise, okay? I'm gonna try to start with this little dot here, and I'm not gonna do this or that. No, I'm gonna keep my hand on the paper, just like that. You can take any direction you want. It really doesn't matter. You're just scribbling right now, but don't remove your hand, okay? It's a bad habit which I have until today. I really want to remove my hand when I'm writing, but ideally we shouldn't, okay? Just I'm doing this so you keep this tip in your head. Don't remove your hand. And with one dot I can erase everything. Okay, so that's tip number 2. So tip number 1, we will be writing always from right to left. Tip number 2, try not to remove your hand. Now, we have 28 letters in Arabic, and we have more than one way of writing things. Here I have the handwriting of somebody else. It's not my handwriting, because, by the way, my handwriting is not the best handwriting. Sometimes I write very crappy handwriting, especially when I'm using this digital pen. I'm not very used to it, but my normal handwriting is okay. So even I, as a teacher, I have that problem. So if you have it, don't worry. So I took the handwriting of someone who has very good handwriting. He writes on wedding cards, and he also knows how to do the Arabic calligraphy. So that's why I thought I can show you one example of his handwriting. So he gave us here 3 types of handwritings, okay? The first one here, on the first line, he wrote 2 sentences that are the same sentence. For now, it's very difficult for you to see the difference, because, you know, you don't know how to write. But I just thought I can just give you a little introduction to tell you that we have 2 main handwritings. The first line, I will write it with the Roman alphabet for now. We call it ruqa'i. And this is the handwriting that we usually use, like the handwritten, you know, not the printed form, but our handwriting when we're using our pencil and we're writing on a piece of paper. We call it ruqa'i. And the second type of handwriting we have in Arabic is the naskhi. And naskhi is usually what we call the printed form, what you find in the books or in the newspapers or the magazines. The difference is not very big, really, it's not huge. Some letters are different, but in general, if you choose one of them, you can do both. When I'm doing the alphabet with you, I will be introducing the two, but personally, I use the first one, the ruqa'i, the handwriting one. And here, in the end, he gave us one example. It's called the diwani, and diwani is usually the calligraphy, the very beautiful handwriting with all these like artistic ways of doing them and the punctuation. This is not gonna be what, definitely not my thing to do. Okay, so this is a quick introduction about the alphabet. We're not going to learn the alphabet in order. It doesn't have to be in order. We can choose the last few letters, the first few letters, it doesn't matter. But what we usually do when we're learning Arabic is we like to learn them in groups or families. Not necessarily, they don't have to be next to each other, although most of the times they will be next to each other, but they have to look like each other. So if, for example, we look at our list of letters here, our alphabet, okay? We will try to look at the letters that are similar in terms of shape, I mean, okay? So I'm going to put a circle around these three, because if you look at them, they look very similar, only the punctuations are different. So basically today we will learn our first group, which is these letters, okay? Actually, these three as well, they look very similar. We will learn them together when we learn them. These two, they are similar. These two. These two. They also happen to be next to each other, you see, but it's not necessary that they will be next to each other always. Okay, these two are the same. Again, these two. Even if you don't know the letters, it's good to get your eyes used to them, okay? Just look for now. These two. And if you look at this one here, it's called Noon. It's actually very similar to this first group of letters that we have. So we can consider it from this family and learn it with that. And this one too. And these two, no, they're not similar. We will not learn them together, okay? So this is just to let you know, the idea is that we like to divide the alphabet into groups of letters that look similar, and we call them letters that belong to the same family. So today, we will do these three letters, okay? And if we have time, depending on how fast we're going, we can do these two because they do belong to the same family of letters, even if they don't look very similar, but they are at least in the variants. Okay? So, yalla, let's begin. If we look at this letter, you see there is the letter B under it. Why? Because that's the sound of the letter. The name of the letter is Ba. In Lebanese Arabic, we can also pronounce it B. So that's the name of the letter. B or Ba, and the sound is B, like baby, beautiful, boy, beautiful boy. Remember that, okay? So that's the letter Ba, and the equivalent to this letter in English is the letter B. So in English, the name of the letter is B, but you don't say B in every word you say. You don't say B-A-B, no, you just say baby. The same applies to Arabic, so that's our B in Arabic, B. So that's Ba, and this one is Ta, that's the name of the letter, Ta. In Lebanese, we also say Te, Be, Te, or Ba, Ta. It's the same, it makes no difference. So this one is our T. So we can use the word table in English, or top, or tom, or t-shirt. And this one is our letter Thaa, or The. Okay, so it's Ba, Ta, Tha. Or you can pronounce them B, T, and The. So this is like a th, thunder, the word thunder. Okay, so Ba, Ta, Tha. Yalla, let's go and write these. Firstly, there's also a fourth thing I want to say is that in Arabic, unlike other languages, every letter has different forms. So we have the letter on its own, we have the letter when it's at the beginning of the word, we have the letter when it's in the middle of the word, and we have the same letter when it's at the end of the word. It's going to change shapes from the beginning of our word to the end of the word. But it doesn't mean, oh my god, the shape is going to be very, very different. No, we will make some minor adjustments to the shapes. Okay? So here I'm gonna start by writing B, and I will write the word baby so we can remember it. And here I will write the letter T, and I will write television or TV, just to make it shorter. So that's Ba, Ta. And here I will write a TH, and I will write the word thunder, so you can remember the letter Th. Thunder. Okay, let's start by writing firstly the letter when it's on its own. I'm going to exaggerate. I'm going to use the bigger pen for now, but later on we can use the normal size of the letter. And by the way, if you want, you can get in touch. I can send you a PDF file of the letters, the real size of the letters, so you can also trace them in case you're not sure about how big the letter should be on your page. Okay, so let's start with the letter Ba. What we will do is, I'm going to exaggerate, as I said. I will write in a big shape for now. You start with this is the dot, yeah? You start going down in a curve, and you go back up like that. Oh my god, you see my handwriting already is bad. Again, so you do the letter curvy here. I will just remove my hand so you see, but you shouldn't remove your hand. You see, you made like a little curve, and then you go straight. I'm removing my hand just for you to see. You go straight, and then you go back up like that. Okay? So the way it should look, if you have good handwriting, it should be like this. Okay, now this is the Ba, and sometimes it's nice that some letters look similar in Arabic because they are easy to remember, but also it can be very confusing because you forget where to put the punctuations. So if you want to remember where to put the punctuation of the letter Ba, remember the word bottom, and the punctuation should be not on top, at the bottom of the letter. So that's how you can remember to put the dot below. You can remember the word below or the word bottom, and below, like below the letter, you put the dot below the letter. So that's our Ba. One more time. Start from here, on the line, it's flat on the line, and up. You see, so if you want to see it with an arrow, it starts from here and goes down, continues from here, and then goes back up. Okay? It's a flat letter. Let's do it one more time. I will try to make my handwriting better. Okay, so. Okay, I like this one. It's not bad. So this one is good handwriting if you need to know. Again. And one more. Okay, so this is our Ba. And you know what? If you want to change this ba into a ta, it's very, very easy. All you need to do is you just delete the punctuation that's below, and you put 2 dots or a dash on top. I like to use the dash when it comes to the handwriting. The 2 dots usually are in the printed form. You will find the 2 dots when you're reading the newspaper or a book, but usually, some people, of course, they can write the dots. Of course, it's not mandatory to do the dash. I personally like to do the dash because that's how we were taught when we were at school. Okay, so what you did here, you took the below dot and you put it on top. You can remember the word top on top because the t top is the letter T and the b below is the letter B. Ba, ta. Okay, that's how you can remind yourself. Again, so let's write our ta one more time. So we will do the curve, flat on the line, and then goes back up, and this is the line, the dash, okay? Or you can do it this way with 2 dots. So this is our ta. So ba, ta. I'm going to write both on top here nicely so you can see them. So this is your ba, and this is your ta. Okay. Now we will write the letter Tha. If you want to remember the letter Tha, it's exactly the same as the ba and the ta, by the way, but it has like a little hat, or in the printed form in the books, it's going to be just 3 dots. But when I'm doing it in terms of handwriting, I like to join my dots into a hat. And if you want to remember this and not get confused, you can remember the word thunder. And when there's thunder, maybe you need to protect your head and you need an umbrella or a hat. So think of this little hat as something that protects you from the thunder, th, and that's how you can remember to write the letter Tha. Okay? So these are the full shapes of the letters ba, ta, and the third one here is Tha. Okay? So again, ba, ta, tha. So this is when the word, when the letter is on its own. Okay? Now, let's write together something. Okay, I'm going to erase this for a second. I hope you're practicing with me already. Don't just watch, okay, guys? Do it with me, because if you just procrastinate and try to watch and yeah, I'll do it later, you might end up not doing it. So let's do this together. For now, we're going to write here the word alone. Okay? We will also write the word beginning, because it's at the beginning of the word. And we will write middle, because it's at the middle of the word. And we will write end, because it's at the end of the word. Okay? So how are we going to write our letter ba, the baby letter? At the beginning, alone, in the middle, and in the end. So we said that alone is like that. Now, at the beginning of the word, it becomes sharp, and as if somebody came and split our letter into 2, like it broke its body into 2 pieces, okay? So it became sharper, and it lost the second part of its body. And this little dot, when the letter is in its full shape, you notice the dot is here, exactly in the middle. But because now the letter is split in 2, it's not split in 2, it's just cut in the middle basically, the dot is now under this line. It's not here anymore, no, it's here, it's this dot. So this is the letter when it's at the beginning of the word. That's how it should look, okay? And we can start imagining or thinking of this part of the letter as as a tail or as something that joins to something else. Think of it as a tail, okay? I like to call it a tail because I don't have any other names for it, okay? So that's how the letter looks at the beginning of the word. It's sharp and sharp, and the dot is here. Okay, let's write it one more time. Sharp, sharp. Again, sharp, sharp, and the dot is under. So this is the letter when it's at the beginning of the word. I'm gonna write another one here. So this was alone, and here under beginning I'm gonna write the letter at the beginning of the word. Now, if I want to write this letter in the middle form, it's exactly the same as the beginning, right? But it's in the middle. It's in the middle of the word. So it needs a tail to attach itself to the letter before. So I'm gonna draw a tail here just randomly with a different color. So you know that this is how the shape should look. But this is not the way I do it. Never, ever, ever, ever. Why? Because my hand in Arabic, as I said, is always coming from right to left. So this means that I should always draw my tail first and then the letter. So here, because we will write the middle form of the ba, I'm going to draw first a tail, and then I'm going to go up, trace it back down, and here we are. We have now the letter ba in the middle shape. It looks like this one, the first one here, but it has a tail. So I didn't do this. Look, I'm going to exaggerate and write big. I didn't do this, and then I did this. No, I didn't remove my hand, because ideally we shouldn't remove our hands. What I did is this. Look, again, I'm going to exaggerate. I did the tail, I didn't remove my hand, I went up, I went back down, tracing it, and then I went to the left. So basically, this is the letter B, ba, and here the first part of it is more like the tail of the ba, this one. Okay? So that's how we draw the middle form of the ba. So we have here the alone form, the beginning form here, and the middle form. It's a tail that goes up, down, and then continues like that. Now we have the final form of the ba. It looks exactly the same as the form when it's on its own, but what does it need? What do you think it needs? Because it's at the end of the word. It will need a tail. So am I gonna do this? Am I gonna do the ba like that and then put the tail? Of course not. Why? Because as I said, we're always coming from right to left in Arabic. So I need to draw my tail and then draw the ba. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna start with this little tail. Okay, I will remove my hand just to show you, and then I'm gonna go up, down, and do the letter. So ideally, when I'm doing this, I shouldn't remove my hand. Check here, I'm drawing the ba. This is the tail, and this is the ba. It goes up, and just like that. So now we know how to write the letter ba in all its shapes. We can write it when it's alone. We can write it when it's at the beginning of the word here. We can write it when it's in the middle. And we can also write it when it's at the end of the word. Now, if I want to join these letters, how do you think I'm going to join them? I already have them. They're in front of you. You have the beginning of the word, at the beginning of the word, and then you have the middle one, and then you have the final letter. So how do you think I will join them? They're in front of you, right in front of you. What do I need to do? I'm gonna try something. Am I gonna join them just like that? Am I gonna elongate the tails? No, this is wrong. So this is not how we will draw it. Look what we will do. We will imagine that this tail here, let me draw it, this one here, and this one here, they will overlap. So basically, okay, let's consider my right hand is one of the letters, the beginning, and my left hand is the middle, okay? if this is my tail and my tail like that, no, it's going to be very long. So what's going to happen is they will overlap, and these two become as if they are one letter. Okay, so I'm going to try and show you with different colors, and then we can join them. Okay, so this is, for example, my first ba, and then I will use the green color to show you the middle form. I'm going to draw the middle form here. Remember how we draw the middle form? We draw the tail, we go up and down, right? And then remember how we usually draw the final form? We draw a tail, so that's my tail, and there you go, I did my ba. Okay, so here you use the letter in all the shapes, and I of course removed my hand just to show you, but if I don't remove my hand, it should ideally look like this. It should start, this is my first ba, and now this is my second ba, and the third one, and in the end I put my dots. And you notice this dot is under the first line because it's not a full letter. This dot is under the line as well because it's a middle form, it's not a full letter, it's a letter that we cut. But the final form, you see, it's in its full shape, it's a full ba. That's why we put the dot in the middle of it. So now you know how to write the ba in its joined forms and in every single form possible. So I'm gonna write it here one more time. The first, second, and third. Ba, ba, and ba. Clear? So remember, the dot is below. Now when it comes to the other letters, the ta and the tha, this is going to be very easy for you because it's exactly the same way, but we will put the punctuations differently as we said. So I'm going to erase these, and I'm going to write the ta when it's alone. So this is the ta alone. Okay, again, in the beginning we will cut it, so it will be straight and straight, but it's on top, the punctuation is on top. I like to put a dash. If you want, you can put two dots. So that's the initial form. I can call it at the beginning, or the initial form, or the middle form, or the final form. I like to say at the beginning. It's a very simple. Okay, so this is at the beginning of the word. Now in the middle of the word, it should have a tail. This is your tail. You go up, down, and go back. That's how you finish your letter. And then you put your punctuation. And then the final shape, this one, and here. If you want to join them, again, try not to remove your hand. So this is the first ta, and this is your second, and this is your third. And like this, you just wrote ta, ta, and ta. Yalla, take 1 minute, practice it, and then I'm gonna do the third one, the tha. I'll just be quiet. Yalla, let's try the letter Tha. So, again, it has the same shape, curvy but flat on the line, and then like that. Sorry, this wasn't my best handwriting, let me repeat. So it's going to be a curve, flat on the line, and you go back up, like that. You can put 3 dots, or you can join these 3 dots in a hat. I like to join them in a hat. So that's when the letter is alone. At the beginning of the word, it's sharp, and the hat is immediately on top of this line. It's no more in the middle, because there's no more middle anyways, right? So you put it on top of this line here. And then there's the middle shape. You start with the tail, you go up, you come back down, and you go to the left, and then you put your hat or your dots. And the final form, again, it's exactly the same as the shape on its own, but you need the tail. So let's start with the tail. I will put the tail, and then I will go up, like that. And then we can do the hat, like that. Okay, and now I'm gonna join them. Am I gonna do this? Of course not. You see how long this becomes? We can't do that. So what we're gonna do is just, we're gonna make these letters kind of overlap. The tails will overlap. So it will look like this. One, and I'm already starting with my second, and the third Thaa, and I close it. So the first hat goes on top of the first line, the second hat goes on top of the second line, and the third hat doesn't go here on top of the third line. Why? Because it has to come here in the middle of this letter, which is in its full shape. So don't get confused. Some people put it here, the hat. Okay? So like this, we did fully our first 3 letters of the alphabet. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna randomly put some letters next to each other, and I'll ask you to write them. You can, I don't know, maybe later on write them, take a snapshot, send them to me on Instagram, or maybe even you can try to type them on your phone. It's also good, by the way, to start practicing your typing on your phone and put them under my video here on YouTube. But ideally, try to take a snapshot and send it somehow. I'm not sure you can put photos under my video. I don't think it works. So you can try on my Instagram. I can give you feedback as well, okay? So let's try. So I'm gonna give you this letter here. And then this. Okay. What are these letters? This one is the Ba. This one is the Thaa. This one is the Ba, and this one is the Thaa. So guys, one tip I want to give you from now, try not to write immediately the word. What you can do is you can ask yourself questions so that you can analyze. When you analyze, everything else becomes easier, okay? Analyze and write down the answer of just that simple analysis, and then you can join them. So for example, for the first letter, you're going to ask yourself, it's at the beginning of the word. So do I need the form when it's alone, when it's at the beginning of the word, when it's in the middle, when it's in the end? Which one? We need the initial form. Okay, so I ask myself, how do I write the initial form? Oh yeah, I remember. I have to write it just like that because it's just a sharp shape and it has this, and it goes to the left. So it's sharp and sharp. So that's it. I wrote my first letter. I forget about my first letter now. I go to the second one. Okay, I look. There's a letter before and there's a letter after. Oh, so it's a middle letter. So we have to write the middle form of this letter. So I'm going to draw a plus here, plus, and then I'm going to draw the middle form of the letter, which is the tail. I go up, down, and then I put the hat. Okay? Now we will go to this one here. Okay, I will look. Oh, it has a letter before and it has a letter after, which means I don't need the initial form of the letter. I don't need the end form of the letter. I will only need the middle form of the letter. It's at the middle of the word, right? In the middle of the word. So I will draw just a plus, and I will draw the middle form of the Ba. It's the tail, goes up, down, and the Ba. Okay? And finally, I'm gonna go to this one here. Okay, it has a letter before, but it doesn't have a letter after, so it's the final form that I need. It's at the end of the word, so I'm gonna draw a plus here. I will draw the tail and the letter Ta. So now that you have them all in front of you and you've analyzed everything, it's very simple. You just need to join them, okay? You will put them on next to each other, but remember, you can't lengthen the tails, you have to make the tails overlap. So let's begin. I'm gonna remove my hand and I will put different colors, but ideally you shouldn't. I just want to remove my hand for you to see, but then I'm gonna write it the way I should write it. So this is my first ba, okay, and this is my second letter. It's starting here, which is the Thaa. You see it overlapped, and then I will use another color. Let's use the pink one to draw the third letter, which is the ba here. I will make it overlap. Okay, great. And now we have one final letter. It's the last letter. Let's use the dark green, and it has to overlap. That's the tail which overlaps, and I put the punctuation in the middle. So there you go, you have it, you've joined it. But now we will try to draw this thing again without removing our hand. So I'm gonna start. That's my ba, that's my Thaa, that's my ba, and the full Ta. So this is the ba, this is the Thaa, and this is the ba again, and I already put the Ta in the middle. So again, if you want to highlight this, let's try to highlight it. So this is the ba, but that's not just the Thaa. We can think of the Thaa by highlighting all of this. And then we can look at the third one, the third letter. We can highlight it with the purple, but remember it's this tail too. And then finally you have the final Ta. You have to highlight also the tail of it, which overlaps, and that's it. So that's it. Now you already know 3 letters out of 28. Next time we can do at least 2 more, and maybe we can do 5 more, okay? So practice this. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment box below. I hope you enjoyed it. If I was a bit fast for you, it's fine. Press pause. You can rewatch this video later on. You can press pause and you can practice on your own. See you next time. Bye.